Hi, and welcome to this episode of Online Marketing Principles. What we're talking about in Chapter 2 is principles, meaning the elements, the fundamentals that you need to know if you're a digital marketing professional. Here are just some of the fundamentals. So your strategy is finally done. You know exactly why you're online, you know what your purpose is, you know who your target market is. And as we talked about in the last chapter, some examples of purposes could be establishing or increasing sales, or establishing online sales or donations, creating a trust factor in your product or brand or people that was not there before by your online methods. Another purpose could be gathering potential client emails or human volunteers or human clients. So it depends what your purpose was, why you're online. So again, all the digital solutions that you could create need to feed one of your online purposes. Encourage online conversations to get information about your target audience, or just to increase again your buddy, no. 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 Good boy. Encourage conversations, really just to gain trust, to get input, to gaining more clients. Position yourself as the go-to expert for so many different things depending on what you happen to be. Increase traffic to your site, increase traffic to your actual retail location, traditional customer service, and on and on. And especially having shared client stories. That's very impactful online. So consistent branding. First step of the online principles is always consistent branding. Make sure that a business transfers the power of their traditional brand online. One of the mistakes people used to make was, oh, we're going to have a different logo for online and a different logo for our retail store. Doesn't work. You want to think of one strategy for both your online and your traditional marketing. It's all one brand now. It's consistent branding. You don't have two methodologies. You don't have two brands. You certainly have a different voice if you have something in the newspaper or if you have something online, but you have the same frickin' brand. So people have a low attention span, very low attention span. So if they don't see the same brand, they don't realize it's the same company, you're going to lose the brand equity that you've built, whether it's traditional or whether it's online. So you want them to strengthen each other. So consistent brands, consistent colors for ease of brand recognition. And you want, as we said before, attention spans. We have lower attention spans than goldfish. They say that a consumer has to see your brand 6 times before they recognize it, and they have to hear your story 21 times before they even know what the heck you do for a living. So it's really important to be consistent. That's number one. So here are some links I want you to go to look at good consistency in branding. I've used Explore the Bruce actually since I first started writing my books. They had a fantastic approach and in their branding and their contests. So take a look at them for some ideas of some of their solutions. Blue Mountain, they've done some fantastic things for their digital marketing solutions as well. Take a look at it. Save Our Souls, they're a local Peterborough company who has really been magical to watch in their expansion using things like Instagram. They have some fantastic voices on Instagram. I love their approach. It's always consistent in the branding and how they're encouraging engagement. So take a look at these guys for when you're looking at what kind of digital solutions you want to implement. So you want to build your own web within the web. Feels like you're becoming a spider, but that's kind of spooky. But anyways, what you want to do is figure out again where your target markets are, where your target clients are, and then how you capture them, engage them, encourage them, get their trust and on those platforms. And have each of those platforms, when you're posting something, of course you're going to post photos, but once in a while you want to link back to your website if you have activity on your website you want them to engage in. What that activity might be looking at photos, might be entering contests, might be finding out more about your staff. So why would they even come back to your site if they can find all this stuff out on Twitter or on Instagram? Oh, Instagram's even missing on here, isn't it? And so is Snapchat. So these are things I'd want to add to this slide, of course, and to the textbook. So leverage the power of the internet for each of your online platforms. So you go to one and you're going to see that it's very similar to the other as far as the branding goes. So let me go back and just take a look. And let's go to Explore the Bruce. We'll go live. Going live now to Explore the Bruce. That's my own Facebook page, profile, my own personal one. But let's go. So Explore the Bruce. I remember when I first met them, they were saying people just didn't know where the heck they were. So they always were trying to indicate where they were. Bruce Peninsula, currently. Damn them. Okay, well, one thing they're doing really wrong here is you never have Facebook update Twitter. You used to, years ago, do that, but why is that a bad idea now? Because, gosh, you guys, I'm going to have to give them a call. These guys have been online since 2009, and they were doing exceptionally well, over 14,000 followers. But the reason you don't do that is you lose impact. It's a wasted post. What you should be doing is instead going straight to Twitter and straight to Facebook, because the language is very different. So let's go to my own. Okay, if we may as well go to the horse. I am a horse, and we are going to the horse's mouth. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so as you can see in mine, when I'm talking on Twitter, I'm talking in Twitter language. So see these different three people tonight at WBN, and then Snapchat with our BizMap launch filter that I put out there. So I'm trying to why am I doing this post? What was the tweet's intention? One, to let people know that we're seeing these three people tonight at a WBN event, and two, I want people to engage with have fun with the fact that we just launched BizMap PTBO. So I created a Snapchat filter, and I'm telling the people on Twitter, because I have a large number of following people on Twitter in Peterborough, so I want them to know about it. So I'm speaking. I don't have this post on Facebook because it would not make any sense like this on Facebook, would it? Now here, if we look at this one, check out rough cuts and highlights first 5 episodes of BizMap PTBO. So it's linking back to the to the handle of BizMap PTBO, which is another Twitter handle. So I'm not just saying BizMap PTBO, of course I'm using their handle so that people can link to it. And I never spell out the word Peterborough on Twitter. I always use hashtag PTBO because that is the hashtag for our local area. If you click on it, anyone that's talking about Peterborough uses hashtag PTBO. Then I put the video here so people can click on it to see the video. And then PTBO, the place to be. I wanted to say PTBO, the place to live, play, and prosper, but I ran out of characters. So I can also attach on Twitter only up to 1 to 4 photos. So that's pretty cool. So I do that from time to time. I know for a fact if I'm doing a live stream and I'm broadcasting it through Big Tweet, it'll only show 1 photo at a time, but in this case I'm not doing that, so I put all 4 photos on. And then what I did was I tagged the photos. You can tag up to 10 people in the photos that you think might be interested in this tweet and might retweet it. So as you can see, while I was just even doing this lecture, I think it went from 1 retweet to 3 retweets. Why? Because I tagged the people in the community who would be interested in this tweet. Now you can't tag from Facebook so it shows up on Twitter, so it's a waste of a tweet. If I go to, if you have it come from Facebook to Twitter, if I go to my Facebook business page for this account, so I log into Facebook, and from my personal Facebook page, I click on the down arrow to go to the pages that I manage, one of them being BizMap PTBO. And when I look at my BizMap PTBO page, what you'll see here is, if I scroll down, I just changed the cover to celebrate the launch from yesterday. If I scroll down, you're going to see I pinned the press release to the top on the business page. Scrolling down, and then I've got please I say please have a look at our highlights and rough cuts from our first 5 episodes airing on Tuesday on Business Vlog. So you can see my language on Facebook is completely different than my language on Twitter. It does not make sense to have one feed the other. It's not professional. So I thank people, I highlight them, so they also get they get kind of tapped on the shoulder every time you mention them, whether it's on Facebook or on Twitter. So you really want to do that. So these people are all part of this video that I just uploaded, and so I have that. I just posted that one, and it's already had 3 shares and just 55 views, and like I said, I just posted it, so it's pretty cool. And so they're very different. And what did I do here? Here, instead of using the YouTube link, I uploaded it directly to Facebook because it gets more views that way. Facebook distributes it more. So all of those things we're going to talk about in the Twitter section and in the Facebook section specifically. But all I saw was the bad form there, so I kind of went out on a tangent. You want to understand what your strategy is, know where you're actually posting your information in your communication schedule, but then repurpose it so it is appropriate for that platform. So make it Facebook appropriate, make it Twitter appropriate. Do not have one feed the other. Very bad form. Okay, so that was my rant there. So taking you guys off, sorry babes. So I'm going to put BizMap on here as the example. BizMap PTBO, because I just launched that. Why not put that up there? So basically, if you go and you see the branding I have across the board for BizMap, here is my website, and you can see if I go home, you're going to see that the same logo and cover will show up across the board. So the logo needs to be the same. Your cover you can change as often as you want. The cover I had on here before happened to be this cover, but your cover you can change. Your logo you should never change. You got to figure out what is your brand, what is your logo. Make sure it's something that shrinks well to Facebook or Twitter. So what I mean by that is you might have a great logo over here, but when it shrinks, it just kind of looks like a blur, or it looks like a line. You want to make sure that it actually shrinks well, and I love the way how this one shrinks. Thank you to Frank Baldwin who created that for us. So it's awesome. So you got to do that. And then what you do is you make sure that it's it's prevalent on your website. And prevalent, if I go back to my Twitter, you're going to see, oh, am I on Twitter, or am I on my website? You can see it looks very similar. So Twitter, people don't change their covers as often as they do on Facebook, you'll find. So same logo, and as you can see, I just launched this one, and we're already up to 500 followers. I've got a lot of the community involved, and it's pretty cool. And thank you to this student. Oh my God. So, okay, so brownie points to Danielle Rusk. She did this tweet just 3 hours ago. Congratulations to our amazing prof at Sophie Andrell on the launch of BizMap PTBO in PTBO _Canada. Sweet! Trent Digital Marketing. Love it, love it. So I retweeted it here and loved it all over the place. I thought that was really sweet. She used a GIF, which is kind of fun. I love the GIFs that are available for all of us to use. So, anyways, I digress again, but you are rocking it. I'm loving the class participation so far. You guys are one of the most participative of class I've had so far. Sweet! I don't know if it's a sign of the times, or you guys are just brighter than most. What is it? And then my YouTube channel is one that...
I'm Sophie Andrell.
Whoa, shut up.
I'm the host
Shut
of
up.
BizMap PTBO. We'd
second.
like to share with you how...
So my BizMap is the same as well. You can see my logo on my cover. One thing I've messed up, and I really don't know how to change it, is my website here. When I click on it, it goes here. What the heck's it doing? The previous page is sending you here. I'm not sending it there, and it won't let me change it. Anyways, I've got to go in and figure that out. I've been trying to figure out where the heck you do it. I've been going to here, to my channels, and then to my channel settings, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm logged in as myself right now. That's why it's not going to let me get there. I'm not logged in as BizMap. But anyways, that's a whole other conversation. So let's go back to our... So what you want to do for best branding practices, logo. Get a good logo that squares well so it shows up well on all your social media. And you brand yourself. Figure out what your language is. How are you communicating? I like to communicate in group shots and shots of photos. I'm very visual for BizMap, so that's what you're going to find out across the board. And then check out some of these other ones for what they're doing. Pretty cool. And then you want to, what I always do is I will do a post of the, and I will get people to come back to my site. So if you'll notice here, if I scroll down and the post, I'll show you how to do these when we get to the Facebook sections. But each of these posts go to a different place on my website, of my BizMap site. So this one goes to Jamie's blog on my site. This one goes to Rose's blog on my site. This one goes to Gwenda's blog on my site. This one goes to my area. I'm the host of BizMap PTPO on my area on my site. So basically each one of these go to a different place on the site. So what am I doing? I'm creating my web within the web. This is my website or blog, and I've got Facebook clicking back to it. Very cool. And so you got to think of a business solution that will allow people to want to click on this. And what are you going to have on your site that they may want to see? Maybe it's contest results, maybe it's a photo contest, maybe it's a video conference contest, maybe it's videos of okay, I'm working from my home right now, and I have two dogs that think something outside is very interesting. They're about to bark. Duke, do me a favor, don't bark. Good boy. Good boy. No. So, no. Don't play sassy with me. Buddy, buddy, buddy. Here's Daddy. Go get him. Go get Daddy. Oh boy, they always love it when Daddy comes home. Okay, so leveraging the power of the internet, have goals, and see how you can have all of your social platforms and your website work together. Finally, SEO. It's huge and it keeps on changing. So what I say today may not have been relevant 6 months ago and certainly won't be relevant even in a month. But just know that it's all about getting found. You do something online and no one sees it. Why did you do it? So our digital marketing emphasizes mainly various social media platforms, but we have to understand SEO in a big way. And SEO expertise is one that when people become an SEO expert, they often become so, they speak in a way that clients do not understand it. If you can speak in a way that business owners, a retail owner who runs a florist can understand what you're saying, you will do so well in SEO, because it's a big gap right now. A lot of people say, oh, I'm an SEO expert. How do you do it? And then all of a sudden you can see the business owner eyes just glaze right over because they have no clue what they're saying. They don't trust the person. They don't want to give them their money because they just don't know what the heck is going on. So you need to make it very, very simple for them to understand it. Generally, all they want to know is when someone puts in some of my keywords that I come up on Google. That's all. So you need to explain to them how you can make that happen and show to them how you've done that for other people. So search engine optimization works through leveraging the power of keywords all the way through your social media, your website, your blog, everything that you're doing. So you want to keep consistent. Online. So not every business requires every single kind of social media platform, every kind of blog, every kind of video. Some people, LinkedIn is their only social media platform. Why is that? Because they've done a strategy where they know, okay, our target market happens to be humans that are business owners that are over 50, and that's it. And they are executive types, so they're all on LinkedIn. That's their poison. That's what they use, and they all happen to be male. Well, in that case, you probably want to be only on social media in the area of LinkedIn. And in that case too, if I'm really talking about people that are over a certain age that are male, they also are still into receiving and reviewing newsletters, e-newsletters online. So you may also want to create a newsletter and have highlights of the newsletter online, then have it linked to your blog for more information. So the digital solution you would create there is a blog with perhaps bi-weekly updates from your staff or from yourself or from industry experts, from clients. You put it on the blog, and then your distribution method will be through your newsletters and through LinkedIn. Voila! And then how you're going to measure success is if you increase business that has to do with some of the blog topics. So that's kind of the kind of business solutions that I'm looking for in this kind of case. So another principle is that you need to own your own domain, of course. If you're going to hire someone to create your website, if you're going to create a website for a client, you need to make sure that you sit down with them and they use their own credit card to buy their own domain. Because if you go off somewhere, if you've created it for them, they need to still own their own domain. So make it simple. What I always do with clients is I create if they don't already have a Gmail account, I create a Gmail account for them, and I have that control their domain that they purchased. I have that control their YouTube channel. I have that control their Google business page. I have that control everything online for them, even how they access their hosted website, how they even log into Twitter and Instagram if those are businesses that they're platforms that they're going to use for distribution of their social media solutions. So that is kind of really cool. You want to make sure you make it really simple for them. So online, I already talked about this one. What do we do in alternative presence? I already talked about that one. So incoming links, it's very important to know that incoming links are the most important kind of link. There are outgoing links, incoming links, image links, menu links. So incoming links will increase the value, social media value, the search engine value of your website more than any other kind of links. So the kind of incoming links that exist out there are the obvious one. If you link back to, you create a post on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Pinterest, and there's a link in it back to your website. That's obvious. So that helps your SEO. You want to make sure that your keywords are in the post and on the landing page of the incoming link. You can also add your links, your website links to different pages to business directories across appropriate business directories. That would be associations that you're part of, places that you're trying to network, trying to promote your company. So you want to be on those directories, and a lot of people forget to put their websites. So go in and make sure your correct websites are there, partner sites, and of course your website platforms and your social media posts. So online targeted ads. Do you see what's wrong with this this slide? It's definitely expanded since I've written the book last 6 months ago. 6 months ago, we only had Google type of ads. We had Facebook, all the Facebook type of ads. Facebook ads include, Facebook ad includes having a little box on the side of your Facebook newsfeed where that little box is someone else's ad. That's a Facebook ad. There's Facebook promotes where you're looking at your own newsfeed and you're seeing on there people that you didn't realize that you followed, and then you look closely and you see the word sponsored. Those are called boosted posts. So that's another way Facebook gets you to increase your reach on Facebook, and I love those because they actually, you can be very, very, very targeted. It's critical to use those if you're going to do anything on Facebook or on Instagram now or on Twitter, and that's what's missing here. There are now ads available on Facebook, of course, on Instagram and on Twitter and on Pinterest and on LinkedIn, for goodness sake. So all of the platforms we're covering this term actually have business pages now, and each of the business pages allow for ads. I don't like ads as much as I like boosting a post. I would prefer instead of an ad, because a lot of people are blind to ads, aren't you? I'm blind to ads. When I'm looking at something on a news feed and there's something on the side or a banner on the top, I don't read those anymore. But if I see it in my news feed, I actually do look at it. So I'm finding that when I do a communication plan, and at first when I was doing the same message as an ad and then the same message written a little differently as a boosted post, those that were boosted posts do tremendously better than those that were ads. So I prefer you to target online, absolutely, but to target online as boosted posts or promoted tweets or promoted LinkedIn posts. So you kind of do a post and then you freaking boost it and target it. And we're going to have, so if I go to my Facebook page, for example, here, and I scroll down to any of my posts that I've just created. So if I go to this and I want to boost it, so what I would do, and that's what I'm talking about, is if I wanted to boost this, or if I wanted to boost this one because people love this one because there were so many humans in it, I could boost it. And why would I boost it? It has to have something I'm interested in my goal. So in this case, it could just be awareness of BizMap PTBO. And when I go to boost it, it always tells you that the boosting might not look the same everywhere across the board. But what you want to do is see how much and who am I going to target. So you want to start with who am I going to target. So I could have it target people that like my business page only, people that like my business page and actually look like them as well, which is really cool. Or I could do custom audiences and just say, okay, I want it to go to anyone in Peterborough, and I want it to go to people that are all women. I want it to go to women that are over, what did I say? Do you guys remember how many, the age group of people on Facebook are women that are over 38 generally? And actually, no, the fastest growing demographic on Facebook, if that's what you're thinking about, was between 55 and 65. So the fastest growing demographic is 60. So if I want to do that, and then what I can do is add a location. So I'm going to add the word Peterborough, Ontario to the map here. And then it's going to say, well, how far around Peterborough, Ontario do you want it to be? 25 miles? Okay, sure, I'll leave it at 25 miles. And then what I want to do is save that. I could actually increase it to interests, but I'm just going to save that because I want to show you how big that target market is. So if I scroll down, it's showing me that 23,000 people fit into that category. So for a buck, I would be reaching up to 180 of those 2,300 people for $1. So if I put in $10, I'd be reaching 1,400 people. $100, I'd be reaching almost 8,900 people. So what's really cool is a half-page ad or a quarter-page ad in papers costs significantly more than that. So it's a balance. What you should be doing is perhaps spending 2% of all of your sales, your gross sales revenue sales on advertising, and then a portion of that on digital marketing is what they say. So if your digital solution was awareness, you have to come up with what the digital solution would be. Maybe it's videos, maybe it's photos of events that you'd like people to be aware of. And then how you implement it is by boosting it on whichever target platform your target audience is on. So I could boost it over a day, and I could say, oh, I want it boosted over 4 days, whatever days I want. But anyways, we'll do a detailed review on that at a later time. So cancel this boost. Yes, cancel promotion, for goodness sake. Sorry, I kept on not reading and going out to the wrong place. Okay, where's my power? Yay. So online ads are powerful, and they've changed and they've increased as far as where you can find them, which platforms you can find them. Keywords are critical. It's all about keywords. It's like Google is a giant matchmaking system. So what we always do in our strategy sessions, we have, I think, the third bullet out of the 9 steps for creating your strategy is understanding what your keywords are. So if you ever do a Google ad on Google, first thing you do is create your Google keywords. When I start working with a company and they already have Google ads, I ask to look at their Google Analytics, their Google AdWords, their Google ad results to see which keywords are getting people to their website and getting the behaviors they want. So I can tell by going into Google Analytics exactly which keywords got people to your site, and then those people that use those keywords, what they did on your site. So say you're a someone who sells boat propellers, and they come to your website and they bounce whenever they were searching for boating accessories, but they don't bounce when they actually search for mercury propellers. They actually come to your site and they stay there. So then I know that I need to, in my keywords, when I'm typing or when I'm labeling a photo, or whenever I'm doing anything, that the keywords that are important to me happen to be those that people come to my site and they actually behave the way I want them to. They want them to stay. I want them to call. I want them to request for a quote. What is the call to action? Do you want them to request a quote when they come to your site? And you measure success by which keywords triggered the behavior I want. That they came to my site, they clicked on request for quote, and then they turned into a client. Awesome! Oh my God! That's what you really want. So here is a tool that I love called the Google AdWords key tool. If you take that link and you click on it, and you have to sign into your Google account. You don't have to pay anything. And what ends up happening, this might redirect you, but I think if you just Google keyword tool, comes up and you're able to put in a word, and then it gives you alternatives to other words that are searched for. So classy online principles. You don't want to be a spammer. You want to only target those people who are interested. Why is that? Because it's classy, but it also is a return on investment. If you are only interested in women that are over 38, for example, and you start targeting men that are over 38, they're going to just, not follow you. So why bother doing it? It's going to feel like spam. It's not going to make any sense. Develop relationships that make sense. Honor people's privacy. Be careful if you're in any type of situation where you think, yeah, let's get photos of people that love our product. Make sure you're honoring their privacy. Get a release if you want to load their pictures up. It's very simple to do, or just ask them. Depends on how strict you want to be about it and how formal. It depends on really what you're doing with it as well. But let's see, state why you want a relationship with them. If you're asking for their emails, there's a whole privacy ruling that you have to understand, which is pretty simple, and we'll talk about that at a later time. You have to be able to let them know why you want their email, how you're going to communicate to them, ask them to click on a box. They have to create an action that gives you permission. You can't just say, okay, because you have to have them click on the box. That changed a few years ago. It used to be that the box was pre-clicked, and it would say, by downloading this document, you're giving us consent to contact you. Instead, how the law works now is they have to click on the box for you to send them information afterwards. They have to do the action of clicking on the box. Anyways, we'll have a whole Privacy Act conversation in a later episode of our class. So state why you want the relationship. Become a guru. Like, share knowledge. That's usually why people would want a relationship with you. They want you to share your knowledge. Best website practices. Now, much of this has changed as well. Pretty exciting. So I'm going to be asking you on Twitter and LinkedIn what the new best practices are. But some of the things that have not changed is you do want to have all your images titled. So when you upload an image to a website, it's usually stored as whatever your cell phone or your camera has stored it as. It's usually some cryptic number, which could be the date, 2017, 04, 06, and then some random, some unique number, and then the next picture has the same thing, then another unique number. So it could be, so you don't want to keep it that. You need to change the image title to reflect a keyword, so that when people search for your images online, they actually come up with your images based on those keywords. Pretty cool, eh? Easy to find call to action links. So if your goal on a certain page is that they have to you want them to ask for a goal, well, don't hide the call to action link. Make sure that's somewhere prevalent. So again, that's not a digital solution. That's part of the implementation. Part of the implementation is to know, okay, so now that I know I want them to enter this contest, and I'm going to use the photos from this contest as part of an awareness campaign afterwards. So now, okay, implementation is I'm going to put that call to action button somewhere really obvious that they're going to be able to find it. I'm going to have links to it on all of my social media. So that's all implementation. So navigation links are in the same place on every page, and that's pretty similar to, especially obviously on the new cell designs that we're all using, mobile designs. There's like the little box that with all the little lines in it. That's where that's how people navigate on mobile devices. So it's really easy. You know, you want something that's similar on on desktop navigation, that it's the navigation links are in the same place, meaning your home, your about us, my products. So how they get around on your site, the navigation links are always in the same place. This is maybe or may not relevant anymore, but they always say a maximum of 7 pages per navigation bar. So you don't want to have 20 up there, just you group things under 7. And again, you definitely want to have relevant keywords. There is, when you're creating a website, there's a place for the title of the website, description, title of each page, and subtitles. So those are just important. Those are things that Google will find and serve out on website results, on search results, and that's how they'll know what you do. So, and of course on your titles of your blogs, really important, because that defines to Google again what your blog is about, and your tags for your blog, and the body of the blog. So you want to make sure, and if you upload any photos to your blog, that they're all relevantly covered as well with keywords. And so only have a few seconds to catch people's attention on a website. So they usually go to the site and scroll down quickly. So you want to make sure that you catch their attention. This is not as relevant anymore. Designed toward a F-shaped screen. That used to be relevant before. The website norm now is that they're longer. You put your information on one site one page, and people scroll down. It used to be that the website itself had to fit basically on a screen, and those had to be F-shaped. Now, because again of their digital transmedia digital tipping point, our website screens and our website broadband and all the websites behave so much faster, and our mobile devices behave so much faster, people can scroll through one page quickly. So it's a much longer page that people are looking at. So that's what I'm going to ask you for as a question is, what are the design standards now for pages on websites? So that's pretty cool. So a big change there. So like I said, it used to be this. It's not this anymore. It's something else. So what is it now? I think probably it's still, anyways, we'll look into it. And so you guys tell me. So this is what I was saying before. Incoming, outgoing navigation links are most important. So, and incoming are the most important links of all. There's incoming links, outgoing links, there's navigation links, title links, and what's missing here is this should have been image links. Image. Oops. Image. Oh, for goodness sake, girl. Image links. So that's pretty cool. So Google ranking factors. Again, this is about a year old, this blog. It was one of our Trent Works students created this for me. Pretty sure, actually, yeah, it was. It was Cam, Monroe, that's it. He was fantastic. So he's hosting the Trent Works website still for us. But anyways, the top 8 Google ranking factors are the number of shares on Google. Of course, Google is the world. They want to share it. Shares on Facebook. So if you have a link on Facebook and people are sharing it, then it's looking good for your Google ranking. Number of link backs. So what that means is the number of times. So if you have a website, you have all these links that are out there from different websites and different social media posts, and they're all linking back to your site, it means that your site's more important than others. So that's pretty cool. Total, if your likes are high on Facebook, your comments are high, Pinterest and tweets, they all equal better social media, but also better search engine ranking for your SEO of your website. Pretty cool, eh? So it all works together. And again, that's evolved as well. So I might be asking questions about how that's evolved on our Twitter and LinkedIn. So how to increase your followers on anything. So 101 is, it used to be word of mouth. I would say one thing to one person and he would hear it and that would be it. But now what happens is when he engages it with it, all of his friends see it. And then when they engage with it, all of their friends see it. So the way to increase your followers is by engagement, by getting a giant who has a lot of followers to send it out to their, or to retweet it or to engage, because that causes trust. So you increase your followers because, as they used to say, only 14% of people will trust you, over 86% will trust your friends. So only 14% trust a brand, 86% trust friends. So that's key, is how to increase your followers is by engagement. It's so important. So your digital marketing solutions that you're creating need to be engagement focused. You need to figure out, how am I going to cause engagement? Don't just say I'm going to start a Facebook page for this company. That's not a social media solution. All that is simply is a platform to get your solution out there. So you need to say, what is the solution? So how does one know which posts will entice your audience? So watch what others do is one thing that you want to do. So there's a 3-month implementation process that I talked about, I think, in the last chapter, or I will be talking about if I haven't, and I apologize, I don't remember right now. But in that, you want to stalk and see, what do others do? What do people engage with? Can I do that? What do complimentary pages do, or complimentary, Pinterest or Twitter accounts or Instagram accounts? What do they do? So this is, you're going to find right from the textbook. So follow your best clients and see what they respond to. So that's another thing you need to do. So follow your best clients and see what they respond to. Once you believe you know what kind of posts people respond to, figure out, okay, where can I get the content that will entice them, and who can be the person that actually shares it? Who can be my giants? So those are the things that you need to do, and then invite ambassadors or giants or influencers, like I said, I use that word interchangeably, to your events, and ask them to tweet about it while they're at your events. So that would be pretty cool. So when we did our launch of BizMap PTBO last night, we had some pretty cool people in the audience who actually retweeted, said what a great time it was, what a great launch it was. Rose Terry from the Innovation Cluster and Fast Start Peterborough, she was there, and she did a fantastic job of promoting it. Thank you, Rose. So these are the kind of things I would call her an ambassador, because she's got so many hats on, and she's there tweeting from all sorts of different sight lines. So that's awesome. Then be vain. Make sure that people know what your handles are. So if your handle is, in this case, BizMap PTBO, make sure you put it out there. And we had that out there on some of our material yesterday. So you want to make sure that is out there. Ask your friends and family to like your page, follow your retweets, go to your Pinterest accounts. So I don't ask my family to do that because they don't care about some, they love me to pieces. So it's up to them. If they're in the business world, they can start following some of my stuff. But if they're not, I wouldn't ask them. But most of my friends happen to be business people, so I would ask them to, and they are supportive. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you want to boost your posts on Facebook, promote your posts on Twitter, promote your posts on Instagram, promote your posts on LinkedIn. So all of those platforms. That really helps spread the word. And then use your social media links on all your printed material. So if you have a great, poster or something on print, or someone comes into your shop, or even for example, Showplace Peterborough, we had people didn't know what those links were, so it's right on the front doors now. You walk in and you see their links for their handles for both Facebook and Twitter right on the front doors, so people know when they're happy about a performance, how they can shout out about it, so that then the Showplace Peterborough can retweet it. So encourage your team if you have a team. So if you're going to be working with any company and you're doing most of the posting, what you want to do for the company, those people that are social at that company, you want them to retweet your stuff. So you want them to go out of their way to look and listen for your stuff. You can't force them, but that's something that's going to help you grow. So make it easy for them to like you. As I said, you want to make sure that all of your information about where what your handles are definitely on all your printed material. But you want to post as your page post as your business page to other pages. So you log into your business page and then you post as your business page to other pages. So you can, post if you want, obviously, and you will, on your own page, but then go to partner pages and post there as well. If there's information that you'd like them to know about, and then ask them to share that, because you can post it on their page. It doesn't really go anywhere until they share it. So ask them to share it. Join groups in LinkedIn, and entice them with your wit and charm, and then ask them to follow your LinkedIn business page. So first, the human would join the LinkedIn group, and then the human would answer questions, become part of that group, and then the human would say, this is the company page I'm part of if you want to find out more information. So 4 times the human has to, be witty, talk about supporting that group, answer questions, pose a question, and then 1 time they should ask that people follow their LinkedIn group. So it's that 4-to-1 rule on 5 posts. You make sure that 4 of your posts are supportive and have something to do with your goals, and then 1 is asking for the sale. So, and in this case, it could be asking them to look to follow your group, your company page. Mention those people who also might be interested in sharing your posts. So if you don't mention someone and you're sitting there hoping that someone retweets you, if you don't mention them, it's like then they're likely going to miss it. So you need to understand and learn how to mention the right people, and that's part of implementation. So a post life cycle decreases after 3 hours. So unless you mention them, they log on 3 hours later, your post is buried. They're not going to see it. And give an action, just like you can RT at the beginning. Sometimes people think that means that it's already been retweeted, but that really you're asking people to retweet it. So it used to be, as you can see, obviously, it says here, say RT at the beginning. It's not as effective as it used to be, which is interesting. So I don't know why, but it used to be you just put an RT, people would retweet. I don't know. Now it seems like you have to write the whole word retweet, but I haven't done any measures on that to see why that is. And but just it's interesting. So 12 posting tips. These ones you need to know for your midterm as well as the last slide. They've done research and they're showing that posts that are written in grade 2 level do better than posts that are written in a higher level. Can you believe that? It's insane. They also say post with less words, or at least you need to get your message out in the first 80 characters for sure. So if you have any type of action and you have it after 80 characters, it doesn't do as well as when you have your action in the first 80 characters. So you want to make sure at least your action is in the first 80 characters, and if you have your whole post in just 80 characters or less, it's pretty cool. You definitely want to use video, and if you can't use video, use a photo. On Twitter, I like photos because you can tag up to 10 photos on Twitter. On Facebook, I love uploading the original video right to Facebook. So there's different techniques that we'll talk about in each of the platform lectures that work best on each of those. And I'd love to know your input on what you find. Include an action, obviously. You want to be edutainment, educational and funny at the same time, educational and entertaining. It's really works well when you're educational and entertaining. So if you're going to do, 6 posts a week, make sure that 5 are edutainment and only 1 is a self-promoting tweet or post. They always said that the best time to post was 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., which are the time people are doing coffee breaks usually, and then 8 p.m. at night, which is the time people have finished their dinner and they're now kind of stalking people online. But each of the platforms that you're going to have, Facebook or Twitter, that will have insights that show you exactly when your target audience is online. So it might be that your target audience is online more so at 6 a.m. So maybe that would be best. But these are in generalities when the best time to post, but you can be more specific when you're actually managing someone's digital marketing. Aim to post, they say, 3 times a day or minimum 3 times a week. If you post any less than 3 times a week, unless you boost that sucker, it's not very effective. And when you boost it again, you want to be careful, because when you're boosting it to a certain audience, every time that audience logs on, they see your post. So you don't want to be perceived as spam. There's a happy balance on how you're going to do that. Include appropriate keywords in everything that you do. When you write a post, it has to read like a headline. It's got to read, it's got to be enticing, it's got to have an action, sensational, especially if you want them to click on it to go further, either reading more information on the post itself or going through to your website. You want it to be enticing. Boost, as I said, whenever it's appropriate, and definitely tag others that you'd like them, those people who you're hoping are going to share your information. So the 10 top reasons people stop following is you post too frequently, or you boost too much, or you're, well, if you boost, they're still going to get your posts. So what happens on Facebook is when you post on Facebook, only 3% of those people that like your post see what you've posted as a business page. So when you target those people, they don't have to like your page. You can target to everyone in a certain city, for example, so it'll go to whenever that group logs on, or anyone that's of a certain age, or anyone that's of a certain gender. So posting too frequently, when I first wrote that line, it was when Facebook used to, if you had 1,000 people that liked your business page, it would go out to 1,000 people that liked your business page, and it would just get buried after a few hours from other posts. So at that point, if you posted too often, they would unlike you because you posted too often. Now, if you post on Facebook, only 3% of those people who like your page organically get it. So they don't stop liking you because you're posting too frequently on Facebook anymore. They could stop liking you if you're posting too frequently on Twitter or on Instagram, because you're cluttering their news feed. So you got to be careful. You don't want to clutter their newsfeed, and you don't want to be repetitive or boring. You want to be relevant. So, and they've liked you maybe because you had a contest going on, and they just wanted to enter that contest. That could be why they later stopped following you. You don't offer enough deals. Perhaps they're following you just for deals. And that's one of the things that on Twitter they say some people will follow people just because they're looking for the deals that they have to offer. Other people's like to support local community companies. They like what you're doing for the community, so they're following you. Other people will follow you because they're trying to get a relationship with you. So there's a ton of reasons why they're following you. But if their circumstances change, then they may stop following you just because they're not in that world anymore. So I've stopped following people whenever they're negative. I don't like negativity, so I stop following them. There's no reason in life for that. I don't like someone that's too salesy. I'll stop following them as well. If what I thought they were talking about wasn't what they're talking about, I'll stop following them, which is one of the number 7. And people stop following. If you're too chit-chatty is number 8. And some people just don't like following very many people. So that's it. So last slide, we talk about Google. And Google has a fabulous business tool. And let me just show it to you. So if you go to, let's just show you. If you go to Google, and Google is your friend, and on Google, you come in and you can actually, these are all the business tools that Google has to offer. And Google AdWords, when you want your ads to show up, on other people's websites and on Google search engine results, you want to use Google AdWords. If you want to make some money on your own website or blogs, and you'd like other people's ads to show up on your property, that's where you go to AdSense. So that's something that a lot of my students actually play with and understand quite well, which is really cool. So there's a number of things here, but the most important one is Google Business. So if I go to Google Business, oh, for goodness sake, Google Business. Let's go to Google Business. Let's go to Google Business. So this is Google Business. So for any business, what I take them through first is I see if they are actually on Google. So we look at Google and we do a search and see if they own their Google pinhead. And at that point, we look to see if they own their Google pinhead. And if they don't, we claim it. And we claim it. And then what happens is we're able to put in the interior, exterior, staff photos that are actually part of their life. We're able to put in keywords. We're able to make sure that when it shows up like this on Google, it represents their company best. So that is really important. And I have a coffee break learning video that I'll attach to this course for you to look at exactly how you do that, because that's something, if you're in digital marketing, any type of professional, one of the first things you want to know how to do is claim your Google business. Well, I hope that was a fantastic lecture. I kept it under an hour just, so enjoy this week.